Okay, a simple definitions of landlord is someone who has land, or someone who has someone who has registered in the freehold certificate or any other land certificate, any other form of land certificate. When for example, when you want to list a land, yeah, we call the lessor as landlord. Okay, but
Okay.
in some cases, not every landlord can become a lessor. Why? Because sometimes when we have a list, when we have leased the land to somebody, sometimes they will sublist or transferring the lease right into another party. So in this case, me as the owner of the land will call as a landlord, and then my leasee, because he transferred his lease rights into another party, he will called by he will be called by leaseor, because he gives the lease rights, and then the other party, the third party who leased, who received the lease rights from my leasee, becoming a leasee. Do you get my point, guys?
Yeah, I got your point. Just landlord is the owner of the place.
The land.
Yeah, the land.
Okay, I think that from the like a term classification, everybody still don't get a clue yet between like lessor, leasee, and some conditions of the term attachment.
Yeah, it's more complicated when we talk about lessor and leasee, but in another cases, or in another lawyer, sometimes they didn't use apa ya, they didn't use a term lessor and leasee. They use like uh tenant and leasee, a tenant and lessor.
Oh, tenant and lessor. Okay.
Okay, maybe do you have any questions, guys?
I have Ami.
Yeah.
Sorry, Aldo, you go first.
Could you explain more about leasing?
Okay, leasee is a term for somebody or someone who lease land.
Somebody who
Penyewa.
lease land.
Yeah, penyewa. For
Okay.
example, like Aldo have a land, and then I lease Aldo's land. So Aldo in this position, we call Aldo as landlord, and me as leasee. But if I want to transfer my lease rights into Farrell, okay? So in my agreement between me and Farrell, I will call myself as a lessor, and then Farrell as a leasee, because Farrell receiving the lease rights from me.
Why you don't call your as landlord?
Because I'm not the owner of the land.
Yeah.
In this case, Aldo can be, we can call Aldo as a landlord or lessor.
So you list the land without the landlord know, or you must have accepted from the landlord?
Yeah, it's according to the agreement between me and the landlord. Okay, if in the written agreement is stated I must to notify Aldo when I want to transfer my lease rights, so I need to notify Aldo before I transfer the lease rights. But if it is not stated on the agreement, so I don't need to make a notifications to Aldo.
Okay, okay. So you still like Lizzie for Aldo.
Yes.
Okay,
But
get it.
to secure the landlord and the leasee, the third party, like a Faral in a Faral positions. So most of the time when I draft an agreement between Aldo and I, the landlord and the leasee, I always put the clause stated states every time, like if the leasee want to transfer his lease rights into another party, they must to notify the landlord with 14 days notifications.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
it's
the safety reason.
Ami, is it only
yeah.
for land or the house? Because I still didn't get when we say landlord, the owner of the land, is it
Uh,
we have we have our home and our land, is it called as landlord, or we have only land?
okay.
Can you, yeah, okay.
When you want to list the buildings, including the apa sih? Including the land, so you will becoming landlord
Okay.
because we cannot I don't know, in Bali we cannot list, like in Bali we are not familiar with like an apartment concept who just give a list rights for a part of a rooms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but no matter what, no matter either it's a building or a land, you will be referred as a landlord.
Okay, got it. I
Yeah,
mean,
but it will be different when you do like a cooperation agreement. Maybe for example, I hire you, Farrell, as my employees. Okay, so I will make employment agreement between me and Farrell. So in this case, Farrell's will code as employee because you are my employees, and then I becomes, wait, I forget the terms. Wait, uh let me check. uh and I become an employer or the company.
oh, okay, all right.
But most of the times, to make it more easier to remember the parties, I like to use first party or second party for the terms. So I will not be confused with the terms like when we want to say it like as a landlord, leasee, lessor, and so on.
Okay. I mean, I have one maybe interesting question, because this is this is the question. I mean, uh in my hometown, I mean, there's no any certificate about the
Mhm.
land, and I have told to my my grandma, or because grandma of my grandma uh, has a lot of land, I mean, in my
Mhm.
hometown, and there's no any certificate to say that this is my this is the land of my grandma of grandma, and I noticed that, but because that is a culture, so yeah, that was fine for them, but in the legal way, maybe in the legal perspective, could you give me a suggestion? Is it I can say my grandma is a landlord, or and it's not, or what maybe?
Okay. The first thing that I need to confirm to you is the land is apa ya namanya village land or not?
In the first place, that is a village land, but
Okay.
okay.
Okay. In Indonesia, yeah, the village land only can owned by the village. Sometimes, most of the times, not most of the times, generally or basically, the village will give or will grant their lands to their villagers with some areas, and then these villagers just only have a right to menguasainya, hak untuk
Right.
menguasai.
Oh,
Authorize.
Yeah, a right to authorize the land. Okay, so you cannot register this land. You cannot register the certificate. You cannot register the land to obtain a certificate. But if the village has released his rights to your grandma, so the land will totally becoming your grandma owned, like apa ya, belongings to your grandma, like menjadi kepemilikan, hak milik.
Yeah,
belongs to your grandma, so you can register the certificate. You need to make sure the status of the land first. Is it the village land or not? Because if it is the village land, but your grandma only have the authorized rights, so you cannot register it and obtain the certificate, because there is a communal rights there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
But for the village land, we can mewariskan.
Inherit.
Inherit this land to our child, to our heirs, as long as our heirs still tetap menjadi penduduk di sana.
Okay. Stay there.
Stay there and fulfill their obligations. Obligation to the village, because in Bali, if you are a village of village, a villagers of a village, yeah, the system, not in the housing residential, bukan di perumahan, like literally in village, or literally in sub district, and you becoming the original or the local village, you never found the certificate of your house, because the land is given by the village. When you died, you can inherit the land to your heirs, but if you have not any heirs, so the land will come back to the village, and the village will find out somebody who can utilize this land to continue your obligation.
Interesting. Okay, I mean, got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Farel, okay, you can pay for it. Yeah.
No, Marel. For the first consultations, it's free.
Okay.